What is up, guys? How are you doing? So we're here on a new episode of my podcast, The John Show. Before we get things started, you should like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy this clip, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, how are you doing? So, sometimes, in life, you try to do things in a timely manner and you want to get ahead in life. And because you have a bunch of other stuff you need to get done today, and you decide to do a podcast. You're like, okay, because I need to get this one by myself done. That's one of the big things. If I get this done during the week, that's one of the biggest things I need to get done. So, what I did was I started doing a podcast, had about 13 minutes left into it. Didn't realize the battery, of course, what I do every time, the battery that was in my camera was almost dead. Because, it's the battery from the last podcast I did that was an hour long. And so the battery on is not going to last that long when you have a camera on for over an hour. So what happened was I saw that the battery light was flashing. I'm like, well, shit, this is going to suck. And then I had to stop the podcast that I was doing, which wasn't that good anyway, so it didn't really matter. But I stopped doing that. I stopped recording. Then I had to stop recording my audio, and then my computer froze. Had to restart my computer, lost the audio. I just went ahead and said, fuck the video, so I just reformatted the whole thing, and then came to find out where I could just say, like, the program has a backup feature just in case if it crashes, it saves whatever you have, auto saves whatever you have leading up to it. And so then I'm here again doing a podcast starting from the very beginning. So I hope you guys are doing great. This is episode 10. I am John Clauser. This is the John Show, or the John Solo Show, whichever one you want to call. Because I thought it was really funny if you watched the John and Aaron show, we talked about that, and I thought it was a pretty funny name. So I might, if it's available on iTunes and all the other platforms, I probably will take it because it's kind of a funny little pun. But I hope you guys are doing swell, doing beautiful during this another week of the Corona shutdown. Washing your hands, not touching your face, hanging out with no one, or if you are, you're going to the park and you're just walking and you're keeping going. You're not sitting around in one place, because they say that even doing that is apparently not a good idea, because things might be contaminated, and then you're just touching it and you're laying on it, and that's going to sit on you, and then you're going to carry that virus someplace else. So it's quite interesting of what's going on. And what's so funny, I just looked down at the clock. I'm like, 25 minutes. Wow, I have not done hardly anything. And I'm just like, wow, John, you've already done almost a 30-minute podcast. So we're going to have to sit here, muscle through this, get it done. So, yeah, like I said, I had a bunch of other stuff that I have to get done today. I have a side little thing that I do where I take pictures for people. I do film stuff, so I take pictures. One of the big things I'm doing right now is I've been shooting some before and after photos for a mansion so this couple has this mansion in Kansas City. A lot of really rich people have this. They have just some extra income, and they like to support local art and local artists. And so what they do is that they'll buy a mansion, and every room has a specific decorator, or they have a specific artist who's going to paint a picture in that room, and it's going to be the big main attraction to each one of these rooms. And then they use that house to have people walk through, I think, or something. I'm not really for sure. I'm a very small cog in this big wheel of what's going on with this project. But that's one of the big things I'm doing right now. And and the person's like, well, can you, in the next 10 days, can you shoot anything? And I'm like, well, I can shoot things probably in the next 10 days, but the things I need to get some of my personal stuff done first, and then I can work on other things, because it's just, that's how it is going to have to be, because my stuff always comes first. It's just usually how that works, unless it's a very, very, very big project, or it's working with the production company that I was working with, or if I worked for a production company, then that's much bigger. This is a side little thing that I'm not really getting paid very much for it, so I'm not gonna really freak out if I don't get it all done like at a timely manner because this person's had like quite some time. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. But I want to get that project done, and by getting that done, I need to get all this stuff done prior to it, and so that's where we're kind of at right now. And yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm like, why? Like, it's like every time I'm trying to get things done early or quickly in a timely manner, things always mess up. And it's nobody's fault. It's not my fault. It's not the universe's fault. It just happens. It's just one of those things, and it's just in the universe. And it's always funny because I want to think that there's probably a bunch of other versions of me someplace out there, and one of them didn't fuck up. One of them was able to get things done and always gets things done in a very timely manner. And they don't do a podcast in front of a small little door. So it's a good time. I hope, but yeah. So with me, I've been all right. I've been hanging out. I work right now because I was a associate producer for a film company, and now I don't have that job right now because it is most of my job consisted of just traveling. And since I can't fly anywhere, there's no reason for me to be flying anywhere. There's no need for my position at the time. So kind of waiting it all out and just waiting until the corona is done, and then once that's over with, then we'll get back into going around and doing that thing. And like, it's always scary because it's a film company, and like, it really doesn't take anything more than a strong cough, no pun intended, for a company to kind of go under, a film company, because there's just so much overhead with like the equipment that you have to have versus the amount of time that you have to shoot or something that you shoot and things like that. So it's just, and you have to pay for everything. Everything's always extremely overinflated just because it's the whole thing is like you just do one thing and then like you won't have a job for a minute. And so like that's the idea. So that's why it's always these big inflated numbers of like what you do. And so it's just one of those things. And so it's always, of course, like when things like this happen, always art is the first thing that gets pushed to the side. And that's one of the great things about choosing a career like this. So if you love it, you just find a way to fight your way through it and you just get it done, because it's better than having a regular 9 to 5. Because oh my God, I couldn't imagine having one of those and just having it like I've had my fair share of like corporate jobs, and I hated every single one of them. There wasn't one suit and tie jobs. I hated all of them. They were just awful, horrendous. And so, but like what I was talking about, how like what I've mostly been doing is like, yeah, just working at my BS job that I have right now. So I work at this retirement, or it's basically this huge apartment complex, but for older senior citizens that just want to have a place to live, and almost like resort kind of feel to it. And I just work in the kitchen as one of the line cooks. It's just pretty fucking easy. It's not that hard. Because like we do the same meal. We do lunch and we do dinner, and you do 2 proteins, 2 starches, 2 vegetables, a bread, and that's it. Like, it's not that hard. In a dessert and a salad. So, and you're just busting it out for like, because they're basically going room to room and serving people that way. And what you do is you just get whatever number they have, we just have that number, and then we push it out. So if they need 13 at one time, we just get 13 and push it out. But we're putting a little container, so it's not that hard of a job at all. It's super, super, super easy. But that's what I've been doing right now until this whole corona thing gets done, and then pretty much. But what this corona thing has really made me has made me really think is that I'm like, okay, what I need to do is I need to really focus on a lot of the stuff that I need to get done. So what I've been doing is I'm doing this podcast, and using this podcast, I use it to write, because I have starting to enter into contest for writing competitions. So like, we get a free laptop, I get a new laptop. You can get like maybe being able to get to do some classes for some like university or something like that, or like you get some cash money, like it's contests like that. And I've been doing this because I'm like thinking like, okay, maybe if I talk on here and I'm just like rambling for 30 minutes and I can figure out something that I might be able to take that and like transfer it over to writing or help my writing in one way or the other. And then using that will make me a better filmmaker because I can then like write stuff and my writing is going to be more elaborate because I'm like practicing my writing more. And it's just like one thing after another after another. I'm just always trying to make myself better as a content creator, because that's why I feel like I'm more of a content creator than a filmmaker per se. Like I make short films and I make like YouTube videos YouTube videos and stuff like that. But it's like I feel like I'm more of a creator than I am like a specific one lane person, and like not just, oh god, that sounds so extremely pretentious and douchey. But for what I'm doing, I don't know. And then it's better than like my main job working in like the film world in the sense of commercials and like documentary shorts. It's pretty awesome. And so like I'm like, yeah, this is a killer life, and that's what I'm just doing right now. And I really realized that like I need to take this time and like seize it by doing more projects for myself. And then if because I have all this time now, and if I can get like a really good baseline for everything, then by the time when everything starts getting back up again, then it's not going to be as hard because I'm not having to juggle as much, because I got a lot of this BS small little juggle stuff out of the way. So now I can just do these larger moves with bigger balls, as balls metaphorically as in bigger projects. So but that's what I've been doing lately. And so, yeah, it's been interesting. It's definitely been kind of boring. My life has been with this whole coronavirus, because having the life of like, always traveling and going from city to city and kind of just always living out of a backpack for a while, it was actually kind of fun for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. And it was because a lot of what I was doing with my YouTube videos, where I was traveling around just driving. I would drive like round trip. I would drive like 8-hour trips, go 4.5 hours outside someplace, another town, check something out, and film it for a bit, then drive back home. And so like you can actually check all those videos out if you subscribe to my channel. They're all right there. But yeah, I just did stuff like that, and it was always so like being able to get paid to do that stuff and be like having a producing credit behind it was actually really awesome, and it's really fun. But I don't know if any of you guys are following any of what this is going on. I'm honestly just rambling, because I'm like 15 minutes. Okay, I got 15 minutes, literally just exactly 15 minutes right now until I'm done. And then after this, I'm going to cook. I'm going to cook my food for the week, and it's going to be ground beef and rice and some refried beans with cheese in it and pico. And that's going to be my food for the week. And then I'm actually going to make a pizza tonight as well. That's going to be like my big hooray thing. I'm actually super excited to make it, because I'm just going to do some new things, because I got some new sauce. I normally do a normal pizza sauce, but I'm trying this new more. When it comes to something like that, I want to make something new each week, and I want to start recording those kind of things, like just because I think it would help me like practice like doing like master shots, close-ups, medium shots, those kind of things. And it's going to be easy, because it's like I'm just making a pizza, or I'm like making enchiladas, or I am making like jerk chicken, like something like that. And it's like kind of killing two birds with one stone. It's a twofer. Two birds with one stone. We're just over here with a bunch of metaphors for things. And what it's going to do is, because it's going to help me with my cooking, and it's also going to help me with my filmmaking. So it's like, because it's always good. Like one of the greatest things I'm like so thankful for that I have is that I'm able to like cook. I'm a pretty decent cook. I've been in this for like 5 years. I've been in this for 5 years, almost 6. I took a small break because I was doing the film stuff, and it's it's so much, it's so good, 'cause especially in like a crisis like this, like, because my third world brain just came right out when I'm like, okay, all right, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get some food, stock up, take some money, like, because you're gonna like just have everything, and like you're gonna get the essentials, rice, some meats. Then you're gonna get some like easy vegetables like pico. Pico's a super easy way to get some like vegetables for like a salad. Instead of having to eat a salad, you can just eat that. That's gonna work just the same. And then like, and just those things like that, like popcorn. That's gonna be easy, good thing to eat, because like this thing, it's non-perishable, but it's also like it's super easy to cook. And like I went into this mindset. I'm like, okay, we can do this. Rice though, rice and meat. Worst case scenario, you go to rice and meat, and that's all you're gonna eat. Rice and meat. And I used to fucking eat that all the time. It's literally all I eat. I used to just use ground beef and rice, and I would just and put a hot sauce on it. And like I was like, "Is that what you're eating?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, this is the best thing in the world." And plus, when you just eat stuff like that, and you work out, you drink a bunch of water, and then you wash it down with like sparkling water, because it's literally the exact same thing. It's like, it's awesome. And people are like, well, I don't like how it's just like it's like water. If I'm gonna drink this, I'll just drink regular water. I'm like, but it has some flavor to it. Like, I'll drink my jug of water, and I set an alarm every 25 minutes and 30 seconds. I take a good chug from my big old jug of water, and then I'll be good. But then these are like my pop. This is like my soda. This is delicious. It's almost like after I work out, when the best thing I love to do is sit in the sauna for 25 minutes and just sit in there. It's the best thing in the world. And it's my reward for working out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and these are my, as in the sparkling water, they are my reward for drinking all that water, that normal water. Because I don't drink pop that much, and then I'll drink like 2 beers every once in a while. Like, I'll drink 2 beers, and that's all I ever drink. Because honestly, if I was gonna do anything, I would smoke pot. Pot would be the thing I would do. And actually, like, what's so cool is like I live in a state where you can have medical marijuana, but I don't even know like what you'd have to do. I know you have to go to a doctor, but I don't know how hard it'd be, because I lived in California when medical marijuana became legal in the state, and like, it was so easy. You just basically say like, yeah, I got a headache, or I have backaches, and they just like, okay, whatever, because all of these places were connected to places that sold weed. So you just go to the doctor, then go right next door, and you can just buy weed. And especially like for like your first couple times that you're like, holy shit, this stuff, I can just go into a building now and buy this, like, give you money, and I'm going to get all this, I'm going to get some weed. And like you're able to have like an X amount of pot on you, and then if a cop pulls you over or something like that, and you can just show them your card, you're like, and like you can't get in trouble for it, and like that's all and if that's all you do, you don't drink, you don't do heroin or meth or coke or anything like that. Like, you have really nothing to worry about anymore. Your life is just a normal life again. Like, you never had that feeling of like, oh my God, I have roaches in my car if I get pulled over. Holy shit! You don't have any of that feeling anymore. Well, of course, though, you can't just drive and smoke pot. So it's of course that kind of thing too. But yeah. But so like now, like, I live in another state that is basically, it's halfway legal. It's going to probably become recreational here pretty soon, because they're going to see all the money that's going to start coming in, especially with like Corona and stuff like that. After this, like, they're going to be able to use this as a way of trying to make it, like, they're going to see like Colorado and California, like, well, like they have all this pot money now, and Missouri's going to definitely want to use that, and they're still not going to use it for the roads, but they would have money at least. And so, but I've been thinking about getting a card, and like I have legit, like, I had surgery on my hand, so I have kind of arthritis every once in a while. It's not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. It's only if I like squeeze stuff for a long time, but like if anyone squeezes stuff for a long time, it's going to hurt, because it's just, you're using your hand muscles. But it's an idea, and I'm like, if I did that, then it'd be really cool, because then I'll just go to the store, and then that's it. I'd go to a building, give them money, and be like, all right. And but I don't think you can. I don't know if it's true or not. But I don't think you can have a gun. But I don't have any reason to have a gun. So I don't know. It's a really strong thing, but once this corona stuff gets done and over with, that's what I'm gonna do, because it's not an essential thing. The reason why for me to go to the doctor and make an appointment, there literally is no reason for me to do that. But I wonder. I'm curious then if that like messes up with like your healthcare. I'm assuming you probably want it because it's statewide. It's not anything. It's not like it's statewide, and then like job related wise. The only thing it can affect job wise. I love how I'm talking about. I'm like literally just talking to myself right now. It's crazy. So anyway, I apologize. So like that's about it. Like I've been thinking about getting a card too. After this, but like this, this Corona thing has really been getting. I think it's getting everyone to be able to think about this dumb stuff. I hope you've been using this time to get this. To get this. To figure out what you want to do. See, like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like, I got 7 minutes left. I got 7 minutes left in this podcast, and then I'll be done. But so I guess I can just not end it right here. But like, so there was a one of the things I've been thinking about. Like, I've been trying to think of like trying to do little segments for this podcast. And one of the big things I think would be kind of cool to start doing is I Google a lot of stuff throughout the week, just silly stuff, dumb stuff, like important stuff. And then if there's anything that I think that's important or I think that I thought that's cool, then I would share it with you guys, and it'll kind of give me something to talk about, as well as like kind of shoot off the hip kind of thing. So one of the things I Googled this week was I found the story about this Henry Box Brown. And Henry Box Brown was actually a slave down in the South, in I believe Georgia. And what he did was, to become a free man, was he got in a box and he shipped himself to Pennsylvania. And what's so crazy though is like he spent like 80% of the trip like upside down. And once he got to Pennsylvania, he became a free man. And he became a magician after that. And then he started like just basically using the way that he become a free slave. He started doing that for other people. And so he would start having these boxes shipped to him and stuff, or shipped him to different places in the northern states. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Like this Henry Box Brown. And then another thing I Googled was that they made a $500. They don't make them anymore. You have to specially order them, but they make a $500 bill. They did at one time. And so yeah, here it is. And so what I'm doing is I'm basically like going back and forth from here to a video screen on my phone. And yeah, so like they made a $500 bill. Something interesting this week. So like I didn't realize, I was listening to this podcast and they said Jap slap, like Jap, J-A-P, like calling Japs like Japanese, and then slap. So apparently that's like a racial slur, which I had no idea about. And yeah, so what it is basically like, it's when you slap somebody, but like you slap them without them knowing. So like you're behind them and you go and you just slap them in the face. And it's supposed to be the equivalent to like when Japan just kamikaze bombed Pearl Harbor and stuff. Like that was supposed to be the idea behind it. Kind of interesting, weirdly, oddly racist in an odd way. It's always interesting that like if we as human beings were to put our mindset to something else, like if that person were to think of something, anything, maybe like inventing a new way of transportation, like a non-gas powered car, or if he like maybe invented like a really cool like recipe for chicken, or if he maybe like dedicated his life to trying to help people learn different languages by having a building that you could go and do that, like anything, instead of like thinking of like awful slurs for people. Those it's quite interesting. And then how it even like how does it even get like going? I guess it's pretty much like with anything else. Like how does like what's up dog or anything like that? It's just like one person hears it, another person hears it, one person thinks it's funny, and then next thing you know, we are here. And then one last thing. So a sea turtle. This is what the inside of a sea turtle's mouth looks like. It is terrifying. It is one of the worst things in the world to look at. But what's But yeah, I don't know what this is. This is a weird picture. But yeah, guys, I think I did it. I have like 2 minutes left. 2 minutes and 45 minutes. My voice is a little raspy. Because I've been pretty much talking for about almost, what would it be, like almost 45 minutes or something like that? Because I had like 13 minutes left, so that almost will be like, a good amount of time. Oh gosh, oh man, just coughing because things went down the wrong side of my mouth and throat. It was almost like when Pence was like, well, I didn't. The reason why I'm coughing is because I wanted to see, I wanted to make eye contact with people when I was at the Mayo Clinic. But guys, if you've gotten this far, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast. And you can check out my other podcast too, the Aaron and John Show. It comes out every Thursday. I do it with a comedian named Aaron Naylor. You can check him out as well. Follow him at I am Aaron Naylor on his Instagram and his Twitter. He's very funny, one-liner comedian. You can also check out my vlogs. And yeah, I really should start those back up again. I really should, because it makes no sense if I'm doing this. I should also be doing that too. It only makes sense. But I hope you guys like this episode. I want to say thank you guys so much. Like, thank you for, if you watch this and if you give any of these videos a thumbs up on any of them, or if you would check out any of these videos, I want to say thank you so much for doing that. That's really cool, and it's very awesome of you. And it's not like we have anything else to do, right? So I'm just doing this, hoping that maybe you can get some sort of entertainment out of this little 30 minutes. Listen to this while you run. I'm working on trying to get this on iTunes, Spotify, and Google playlists, those kind of things. The Google iPlace. I don't know what that thing is. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys do good. Be safe, wash your hands, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye. Ow! Oh, that hurt. Ah.